Hello, mabuhay ug madayaw. I am Sophia May A. Samaya, and today I will be sharing with you one important taxation system in the Philippine history, the tribute during the Spanish period. Taxation has always been a part of governance, and it was no different during the time when Spain colonized the Philippines. In this presentation, I will be talk about what the tribute was and how it worked and its effect on the Filipino people and how we can connect it to the taxation in our society today.
So in the slide, it shows the historical background of the tribute or tax during the Spanish period in the Philippines. And the historical background, it introduced by the Spanish in the late 16th century, required from native age 16 to 60, payment 8 reales, 1 peso yearly. Payment options is money, crops, or labor. So the tribute was introduced by the Spanish colonizers in the late 16th century. It was a way for them to collect money and resources from the Filipinos. All natives between the ages of 16 to 60 years old were required to pay this tax every year, which is the yearly payment was 8 reales. It was equal to 1 peso at the time. But the tribute was not only paid with money. Since many Filipinos did have enough cash, they were allowed to pay using crops, goods, or even labor. So, for example, farmers could give rice or others produce while others might work for the government as a payment. For the Spanish, this system helped them to run their government and support their colony. But for Filipinos, it became a heavy burden because it reduced their harvest, their money, and even their time to work for their own families. So, in short, the tribute was one of the first forms of taxation introduced by the Spanish in the Philippines. It shows how Filipinos were required to give part of their earnings or labor to support the colonial government. So, in the next slide, it shows the impact and analysis of the tribute system during the Spanish period. Positive effects is build churches, school, and facilities. Tax is introduced Filipinos to formal tax system. Then the negative effects is heavy burden on poor families and abuses and corruption and collection. Next is symbol of colonial exploitation. So let's start with the positive effects. The tribute helped fund the building of churches, schools, and other facilities. This became important parts of communication and influenced Filipino culture and education. And then another positive effect is that it introduced Filipinos to a formal tax system, something that continued even after the Spanish period. Then, however, the negative effects is were much stronger. The tribute was a heavy burden, especially for poor families who struggled to pay every year. There were also many abuses and corruption in collecting the tribute since some officials demanded more than what was required. And overall, the tribute became a symbol of colonial exploitation. It reminded Filipinos that they were forced to work and gives resources not for their own benefit but for the Spanish government. So next is the reflection. This is the reflection of the tribute during the Spanish period. The similarities is taxes still fund government projects today. The differences is modern taxation is more organized with laws and accountability. So when we compare the tribute during the Spanish period to our modern taxation today, we can see both similarities and differences. So first is the similarities. The taxes still serve the same purpose. They are used to fund government projects like schools, hospitals, roads, and other services for the people, just like before. taxes remain an important part of running a community and country. Next is their difference. The modern taxation is much more organized. Today, we have proper laws, systems, and accountability. This means there are rules on how much should be collected, who should pay, and how the money must be used. Unlike the tribute system, where there were abuse and corruption, modern taxation is designed to be fair and transparent. So, from this, we learn an important lesson, which is taxation must always be just and fair. Citizens also have a duty to pay taxes, since it is a part of helping the nation grow. At the same time, citizens also have the right to demand that taxes are used properly and not wasted. And this will be the end of my video presentation. Thank you for listening. Mabuhay ug madayaw.